Well, I mean, first of all, we of course are the network of the young members of the European Parliament, so this is how we started off. So we understood, I think, from early time onwards, that the youngsters, the fresh, the innovative, that are coming into this building and are sometimes running against brick walls because there is what we call an old boys club here in the European Parliament, that doing deals behind closed doors. We wanted to bring transparency into the matter. We felt that this is a democratic house of democratically elected parliamentarians, and they want to make a change. They want to work together and really try to make Europe a more interesting and a better place. And I think it's a logical step that after so many years of working just amongst ourselves in the European Parliament, we want to feel that we can increase this network. And this is, I think, a logical decision we made. Over and above, of course, Europe is in deep crisis. You know, we started with a financial crisis, we then had a debt crisis. To the debt crisis we added a refugee crisis and now Brexit. And after a huge success story that this European Union has looked at, especially an economic success story, we're suddenly confronted with a political crisis which seems even hard to overcome. And right now, when you look around, there's no plan how to overcome it. And we understand suddenly that an economic union is not enough. We also need a political union. And without a political union, Europe, as the dream that it was by the fathers of Europe, will not be able to be realized. So I think when we bring together young MPs from all member states to talk with each other and discuss with each other, we're doing a step in the right direction, at least, to try to redevelop the dream and also redevelop very concrete actions of what we can do to make Europe grow together again and try to bring this continent together, because without us working together, we have absolutely no chance to compete with the big powers of this world. And there are a lot of challenges that have to be tackled. And it can't be that the biggest success story of the European Union at this stage are roaming fees. The thing is, the countries are not so different. If you're traveling in the US, in Canada, if you're traveling in China, and people ask you where you're from, for those people, you're European. I don't know if you've ever had that experience to be in Thailand and Asia, and you as an Italian, you come across a Brit. Here in Europe, we may feel that Italians and British are very different, but back in Thailand, we have a lot in common with each other. We have a very, very similar outlook of how life should be. Same for the US, by the way. Yes, they mainly have European ancestors, but the way they live their life, their work-life balance, just to give you one example, is so different to the understanding, the philosophy that we have of life. And you know what? I think a Swede and a Spaniard have so much more in common when it comes to their understanding of how a healthy work-life balance has to look, how a healthy political participation has to look, of what democracy is and what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. So in that sense, actually, we're bringing together people who are very, very like-minded, because they are people who are interested and engaged about politics at a young age. And if you look at opinion polls right now, if you speak to young people on the street, it is shocking how uninterested they are in politics. But they should be, because we're in crisis. Why are they not engaged? Why are they not doing something? These young MPs, they were engaged from young age, and they've been encouraged. This engagement has been lauded through their position in their national parliaments. So I think they have a lot in common.